This conference will now be recorded.
Was it not picking up and I did not pick you up? No, okay. Not yet. Okay.
So is it something that gets mounted on a
Yeah.
post or
I'll work
something?
with like DPW to.
Like X amount of feet off the ground
Yeah,
and
so
whatnot?
people can't just grab it now. Obviously, you want to put it in a location where it's not going to be subject to any vandalism or someone messing with it, because we have to keep it up for a whole year. I would register, I have to register the air sensor on Purple, it's like a Purple Air link. And all the data that's collected from that air sensor gets inputted into that link. So residents would be able to go on there and just check out the air quality and how it's being monitored. So, but prior to it being mounted, I'm gonna write up just a little press release to inform the residents of the grant and the air sensor and, where they can access the information, from the sensor. And do just a little education piece on what particular matter 2.5 is. They're really small, particles that it's usually, in like combustibles, like automobile exhaust, wood burning, for example, tobacco smoke. And, they're so small, they penetrate deeper into the lung tissue and cause problems.
Kind of like an
Question.
asbestos type.
When I get onto weather.com, they have a air quality and they're getting that from someplace. I'm just thinking it might be in the Quabbin or someplace. It would make sense to have more of these in more locations because probably 30 feet away, it's going to get different readings. Do you know where the others are?
Pelham wanted to put theirs, behind the public safety building where the elementary school and public safety building is.
The library,
The children, the buses, the automobiles. Where we are going to put it somewhere outside the town hall because where the town hall is, it's right in the environmental justice area. It's on the main road, people walk, there's a lot of vehicle traffic.
I'm just thinking, this is a huge town. It's one of the largest in the state. And having one is probably way too
We're limited
inadequate.
to 5 total.
The problem is the lack of the grant. It's not.
Right.
Right.
Who's the grant from?
A DEP.
DEP, state DEP.
But it's a start.
Now, when was all of this gonna try to get? put to
I was
test?
going to work with DPW. I got approved from, so I already have them.
Yeah.
So I was gonna work with DPW sometime after the holidays. I have 60 days from the day that I receive the air monitors to put them up and register
Get
them.
started.
So sometime in December, they'll be up and running and I'll do like a little press release.
You said-
Educational.
You said there's 5 total.
There's 3. We're allotted up to 5, but, I didn't want to get 2 for 1 and not like,
Right.
6 for
Right.
total. So, and it's first come, first serve. Plus they have to be up for a whole year and you're kind of responsible for them.
Right.
And making sure that they, stay where they are.
So with that type of, like, location wise, who would that be up to, whether it's here at the town hall or at the fire department or
No,
somewhere? It's just,
it's up to basically me or us, so
Yeah.
I'm just, if you thought there was a better location to monitor particular matter.
I mean, I think this is probably the
Because you-
busiest spot with the parking lot in the middle of a common. You have the lights, you have everything
That's kind
right
of why
here.
I figured, but
You have
we
this parking lot.
gotta have access to electricity, so we're gonna
Right,
plug it
and-
in, so and that's where I'll work with DPW, because they know where
Right.
the plugins are gonna be for that, because
Right.
it runs on electricity, it doesn't run like on solar or battery.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they know, but like the
Yeah.
flagpole area, if there's an outside outlet there already,
Mhm.
put a post 10, 15 feet from the flagpole somewhere and have it there.
And I'll check on them
Yeah, but
periodically
that's-
when I'm in towns.
I think that'd be the best spot for it, somewhere up.
And it sounds like maybe,
Away from the traffic.
Right, off,
right,
off.
right. And, I'm by no means a meteorological expert at all, but it sounds like maybe if you're checking it, you might want to, if you're sensitive to those things, you could check that along with, like you said, most weather apps will give you a broader air quality index,
Right.
mostly for the region, like is today going to be a tough day, if you have respiratory problems. I guess my question too about these monitors, so if I were to go on that website, that's going to tell me that day. Is that the reading I'm going to get is that day, or is it going to give a
That I don't know yet.
longer time frame?
I don't know yet.
All right, cool.
But again, it's not indicative of all of Belchertown.
It's just
different
that
location
area.
with the air
Yeah.
monitor.
Now-
Makes sense.
Have other towns around us already have this established that do you know of, like Ludlow, Palmer?
I don't know who else applied for it. The grant just came out, I want to say last month,
Oh, okay, so it's
sometime in October.
new
it
to
came out.
everybody then.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've done it before. I've done it, I remember remember
Yeah.
reading about this grant. They have done it before. Needham, because I was talking to Cy, our old health inspector, when I saw him at the conference,
Oh.
and Needham had done that program, not when he was there. I'm not sure what the results were, but I know they had done that. He didn't really have too many details, but I know like some of the monitors had been at someone's like private residence because they were having problems with some sort of nearby facility, probably regarding like wood smoke.
Mhm.
But then like the monitor wasn't there. I mean, you have to keep it up for a
Right,
year,
There to
so
keep it up
it's
for a year, right? to
depending
get that
upon where
money.
you get it.
Did he reach out to you or did you?
No, they sent it out. They sent it out. I read about it. Bill, our chair in Pelham gets a lot of the DEP, so he was like, let's do this.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
And that partly answers your question, because the two neighboring towns in the Quabbin district will have them.
Right.
Right.
Sounds good.
That
Be
sounds-
interesting
yeah,
to
no,
see
it's
the difference
right.
between.
Now,
Dayton
is
and
there a
Lebanon.
specific reason? I mean, is there a specific reason for,
For getting it? For
Yeah.
applying for it?
well, no, to have the units up, to have the units, to see what, I mean, we know what it's looking for, but
Right.
what if,
It's probably for data collection and also education
Yeah.
on particular matter.
yeah,
I imagine there's gonna be communities where they have more industrial facilities
Mhm.
that this could be a problem, where you have housing around.
Around it,
And these would be good monitors to put up in those
just to have a
locations.
baseline.
But it's
Right.
open
Something.
for everyone. I mean, in our communities, we really don't have too much of that, so,
Yeah,
Oh, we have wood burning stoves,
we do.
Mhm.
so it'll be interesting to see, you know, winter,
Mm.
summer, and night and
yeah,
day.
how
and
the
this
different,
kind of
Right,
stuff.
and
levels,
Different over the course of the year, right?
or even hourly during the day.
6:15.
Yep.
Just one other quick question. I'm assuming they come from DEP. If there's ever a problem with it, they're the ones who provide
Yes.
maintenance or replacement or whatever. Okay, great. Thank you, DEP.
All right, it's now 6:17. We can start our hearing of tables on the green. 330 Chauncey Walker Street, owner Tara Weigel.
I will move that we open the
We open
hearing.
the hearing.
I think that's roll call. Am I right? No, I think it has
Yeah.
to be.
I
All
vote
right.
yes to open the hearing, officially open the hearing.
Aye.
All right, hearing is open. John, you want to start us off?
Sure, I can give you a summary. My name is John Pencil. I'm the code enforcement officer for the Quabbin Health District. On October 2nd, we received a complaint about conditions at the restaurant. So I went out and I did an inspection. Based on my inspection, I felt it was reasonable and prudent to close the restaurant at that point in time based on numerous items. I mean, let me know how much detail you'd like me to go through. I mean, everyone has seen the photographs and had a chance to review our reports. So I issued a summary suspension order on that day. Ms. Weigel said, look, I'll take care of this. I'll get everything cleaned up. Come back tomorrow. Sure, no problem. So I went back the following day and she had made significant progress. I felt at that point in time it was okay and prudent to reopen the facility. But I told Ms. Weigel that the restaurant needed to be brought up to a much higher standard. It needed a very deep cleaning. The overall conditions needed to be brought up to a much higher level, commensurate with food establishments. I came back several weeks later, expecting, I think this was October 23rd, expecting things to be perfect. I was promised everything would be great, it'll be perfect, no issues. So at that point in time, on the 23rd, things had not really improved. There was a lot of food in all of the different, cold holding units in the walk-in cooler. that was either rotten or much, way past its use-by dates or prep dates. Things were not where they need to be. So at that point in time, I considered issuing a second suspension order, closing the restaurant. But Ms. Weigel told me that they were closing for good on Saturday, the following Saturday. I believe that was October 25th. I did my inspection on the 23rd. She told me it would be closing for good on the 25th. So given that, I said, you know what, fine. So time passed, several weeks went by, and I believe Mary, Ms. Weigel talked to Mary and indicated that she was not closing the restaurant. So I went back last week because I wanted to do an inspection. I'm seeing a pattern here where things have just not been brought up to where they need to be. They're not clean enough, basically. So I was out there the other day, no one was there. I went back this afternoon. I gained permission from the, forget his title, assistant. Yeah. So he allowed me access to go in there. I did my inspection, and there's been some progress made. A lot of the food items have been removed from the facility, which is great, but it's still extremely dirty. It needs a very thorough deep cleaning, everything. The walk-in cooler, the floors, the walls, all the racks, behind the equipment, the interior and the exterior of all the equipment, inside the microwave. It's just not where it needs to be. And it needs to be cleaned.
When did you do your pre-operational inspection?
The pre-op was done, I just saw it.
Because this would be considered a new
Right,
facility.
that was done March 5th of this year. At that point, everything was perfect.
So this was his first inspection.
And first inspection after opening, right?
Kind of put it,
Mhm.
show the time frame.
For a higher risk establishment like this, based on their level of preparation and their food, we do 3 times a year.
Right.
About every 4 months.
Mhm.
So at this point, I don't know. And it's up to the board, but it was disappointing to see that the restaurant was still in the same shape that it has been for several months. I haven't seen any significant gains.
Is there anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, so the hearing today, the action that is put before the board is we're coming upon permit renewal season for the 2026 permits. And based on the level of non-compliance with food code and, John's inspections, the question is put before the board, do you want to renew the food permit to operate for 2026? I am aware that Tara wants to apply for a catering license from this location, although catering is advertised at this location without having a catering permit, which concerns me. Because right now, no food that is being prepared should be delivered off-site without a catering permit from the Board of Health, which,
Does not exist, right?
but it is being advertised that catering does exist for this establishment. So obviously we want to hear from Tara, what the intentions are for the establishment and bringing things up to compliance, because this is concerning, based on public health and safety for people that are eating, or if there are future catering events, we want to make sure that nobody is going to be sick, because people can die from a foodborne illness. So that's what is before this board as far as an action is the permit for 2026. But for the hearing, we'll hear from John if there's any question. And Terry, if you don't mind, if you want to come up to there, because the microphone is there. We want to make sure that it, sure, everybody can hear you. Thank you.
Okay,
It's my turn.
Yep, your turn, Tara.
so, I mean, I know that things got out of hand over at the Green. I understand that. There was a very rough patch that I went through, and with my kitchen manager, myself, I mean, we did go through a rough time, and I did let the things slide. I wasn't really paying much attention to the kitchen at the Green, because I was going back and forth between both restaurants and trying to juggle a lot all at once, and a lot of tournaments, and a lot of, just everything was coming at me. So yes, I take full responsibility for the kitchen. I should have been more aware of how it was. But in my defense, when John came down to inspect the first time, I had already shut down the restaurant to the public because I said, we need to clean this kitchen, we need to clean out the walk-in, and we need to get everything in order. He came and inspected. We had already shut down. I wasn't serving the public. I did not want to serve the public. I would never serve anybody any food that I felt that I wouldn't eat or serve my children, and I never have. Granted, I didn't go through the walk-in, and I should have. I should have pitched, whatever was outdated, and I didn't do that at that time, and that was all on me, and I take full responsibility for it. But I'm only one person, and I have a lot going on. So, and then the second time John came and inspected, I was also closed to the public because I was, getting ready to clean and, revamp. Today, he came and inspected, closed to the public. I have not served anybody any food from the Green. I don't have a catering license from the Green. So anything that I serve for food, I serve from the farm. I do the food from the farm and I cater, and I feel that I can offer people like a Christmas party or something up at the Green. So I did that, and that's why I had advertised that we were doing parties up at the Green, but I'm cooking from the farm and I'm trucking it up. I mean, you can see, I have the inspection report from the farm. I got an excellent rating from the farm. I do my job. I'm very good at what I do. Granted, I did lose my way a little, for a time, and I did have some issues, and I'm correcting them. And, so each time he inspected, I had already been responsible, and I had shut down the Green, and I wanted to make sure that we had everything cleaned. So each
Can I
time.
interject real quick? I have a question for you.
What?
So you say that you're responsible,
Yes.
and how come every time that I go there, there's no change? It's never been cleaned up.
Okay, so you came there today after I had 5 parties, tournaments, and everything going on, and I had to unload all of those dishes, and I brought everything into the Green so I can wash them. But last night, it was like 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm not doing dishes at 2 a.m. It can wait until tomorrow.
So
But you
how about-
came in.
How about the microwave?
John.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
back
not
and
really
forth. This is
back
a
and
public
forth.
hearing. It's
Yeah.
a public hearing.
Okay,
She's
so what I'm
suspected.
saying is like, there are times where I'm just too tired and I'm like, I want to sit there and do dishes all night. So I can wait till the next day. I'm not serving anybody. I'm not serving the public. I don't, I'm not serving people any food that's terrible. I don't even have food up there to serve people. I already pitched it all. It's all gone. So everything that was up there, it's just the dishes from the catering. And that's what you came in and saw today. Has nothing to do with anything else. Like I'm not doing anything wrong. I just brought all the dishes up there so I could wash them. But you know what? I'm only one person. I was up for 3 nights in a row, no sleep, doing all of the events that I had to do to get ready for, the weekend. So, I mean, I'm tired. I don't want to sit there and do dishes for 2 more hours. I want to go home
Right.
and sit for a few hours and make
I want to
dishes.
interrupt.
Right.
So
I
you've
have
been
questions,
closed
too.
since when?
I shut down the restaurant on the 25th, right, Dave?
Yeah.
After that last tournament.
Okay.
I shut down the restaurant to the public, and then I said, I'm only gonna do catering. I said, but I can do catering out of the farm because I'm permitted to do catering from the farm. So I offered to do catering and do Christmas parties and functions up at the Green because the facility will allow it. And I can cater from the farm because I have a proper permit. And it doesn't break any rules because I can bring the food up there and I can hold it in the ovens just like I would at any other catering facility. And I still have to pay rent. I still have to sustain, and I still have employees that I have to make sure that, you know, they have an income. So this was my way of fixing everything. While I, you know, I mean, granted, the kitchen was a mess when Julie was there and I wasn't paying attention. And then I let her go and I closed down the restaurant the next morning, and that's when you came and you inspected because she called. I'm sure she's the one that called and reported me, but the kitchen was a mess. The walk-in was a mess.
I want to ask Andrea, so without so after it's closed, she didn't have a license for serving food, but she was bringing food in as a caterer from another location. Does a catering hall need to have a separate license or anything? I mean, I'm a little uncomfortable with, oh, you were heating it up in the ovens, which were dirty maybe. But just generally, is there anything like that, or can,
So.
I mean, I know you cater to a
Yeah,
house.
she has a licensed food establishment in Palmer.
In Palm,
Yes,
right.
tables at the farm, and she also has a catering permit through the Palmer Board of Health to prepare food at the farm and then do catered events off-site. It could be in Belchertown.
Anywhere, right?
We only would license a caterer that was stationed in Belchertown that was doing that.
Yeah, cooking and removing.
Right, in this instance, I guess just for level of convenience, she also has tables on the green, and that has like the function hall and her kitchen there, where, you know, we wouldn't be able to prohibit a catered event with the food coming from the Palmer location. However, when it comes to the tables on the green kitchen, if the conditions are not to where food can be stored or prepared safely, then that would be my concern, is just using the kitchen
Yeah, I'm just a
there when
little-
it's in that state.
Yeah, I'm just questioning using the kitchen even to reheat something when the kitchen itself isn't good.
The
I mean,
ovens are
I'm happy
fine.
getting too technical here, but
Yeah, no, the ovens are fine. There's nothing wrong with my ovens. There's nothing wrong with my stoves. There's nothing wrong with that. They're perfectly clean.
Usually, like, if
Is that what you saw in your inspection? Can I just ask that question? Are the ovens as clean as she's?
I did not look inside the ovens, but the remainder of the facility that I looked at has not been cleaned. It's not clean. And I have photos on my phone that I can share with everyone, including you,
That's fine. I haven't seen them, but I mean, you only saw the kitchen in the disarray that it was at
Yeah.
when I'm bringing in all the catering stuff, so everything's all over the place.
he wanted to, I just wanted to ask one. He had suggested back 4 weeks ago, whenever, that you get a deep cleaning.
Mhm.
But then you reopened without ever doing that, I gather.
I did reopen.
Oh, you haven't been open in the whole month? I thought he allowed you to reopen temporarily.
I haven't been open since October 25th.
No, I'm talking about back
From
on the
October 3rd.
From
third.
Right,
She
from
had,
the third.
maybe a tournament or something next day.
Okay,
Yeah,
apparently
yes.
not.
No, it's fine.
Right.
But yeah, we did clean the kitchen, like everything was fine. It was the walk-in that was the big problem.
Oh,
The walk-in
okay,
was the problem.
okay.
So we cleaned that all out. I mean, you know, granted, I was, you know, it was my fault. I was negligent and I didn't pay attention to what was going on in the kitchen because I was back and forth between the
Right.
restaurants. I had a lot coming at me, and it was my own fault that, you know, I didn't pay too much attention to it. But, you know, now, you know, I'm working on, you know, getting everything in order, you know, but it's only me up there right now because I moved everyone down to the farm. Because now we open up the farm at night.
Oh, Dave,
Yeah, so I just want a little bit in their defense. So John did come in today. The kitchen last week was much cleaner than it is today. She did have a bunch of events on Saturday. And I think the remnants of those 3 events or 4 events are in the kitchen. She hasn't cleaned up, but it did look better in a couple weeks before yesterday, or before Saturday.
My kitchen was
Right.
spotless.
So probably not perfect, but a lot better than what Johnson seems to be.
And can I just get clarity on what were these events? I guess I'm still confused about where and how food is prepared and or brought. Are you saying events held at the
So
restaurant here, the food was prepped there? Or you're
No.
saying that that
No.
was
No.
from
food-
Palmer?
no
But
food has
so
been
how
prepped
is
at
that
the
food making the kitchen not as clean as when you said it was clean about a week ago?
I hosted a golf tournament on Saturday, which she catered.
Right,
She didn't make any of the food there, it was all brought in. And then she also had, I think, two other events or three
Three.
other events, off-site. But all those dishes and pots and pans that were carrying the food to those other places, the dish came to Cold Spring.
Cause I was doing the dishes, cause I sent
So,
Wyatt, my kid down there. to
so
go
it
and-
looked like it bottomed off, but
Yeah.
not perfect, but it was bad before. She did clean it up and it was better than what it looks.
So my concern today is not so much the pots and pans and everything like that. I understand it's the fact that there's mold in the walk-in cooler and the trays are dirty, there's blood on the floor. There is filth in the walk-in freezer, there's food items scattered on the floor there. The interiors of all the cold holding units are very dirty. It's not that there's a few pots and pans sitting around. It's that the exterior of the equipment isn't clean. There's grease and dried food debris on basically every surface. That's my concern. That doesn't happen in a couple days. That's a result of not maintaining that facility. That's my concern. Not that you have some pots and pans.
I mean, I've cleaned out all of my bain maries. I don't know.
I can show you pictures right now that I took if you'd like.
Today.
Yes,
Okay.
there's food debris in there and, you know, I'm not making it up. I want to see a business succeed and I have to make sure it's safe.
There's somebody in the back. Does he want to speak?
No, you
No,
got.
he's in.
Okay.
Thank you for recognizing me, though.
No.
I mean-
My first wife was a food service, I worked food service director at Springfield College.
We were
had
supposed to
many
discuss
late
the
night
pay.
functions. And we put down at the function, you brought it back, you washed the dishes, you cleaned it, you just put it in the, you just put it in the kitchen.
All right.
Excuse me, I'm gonna move, we close the
Yeah, I
hearing.
was just
3
gonna
nights
say-
in a row overnight and not sleep.
Colleen.
So, I mean, there's some times where I'm too tired. I'm too tired.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're gonna,
I'm gonna move, we close, which needs a vote.
Yeah.
Close the hearing and then we can discuss this.
so does that prohibit us from any further questions
no, we heard,
of
we heard.
Tara?
Oh, if you have more
Yeah.
questions, then
If
ask.
you have more
Yeah,
questions,
yeah.
please.
I guess I'd like to hear a little bit more about what are your perceptions and understanding of the risks to the public health wise, and certain segments of the public when foodborne illness is as possible as it might be in this condition? What do you think about with
I am
respect to?
ServSafe certified. I understand all of the risks. I'm allergen certified. I take it very seriously. I would never, ever serve the public something that I would feel would make them sick. I've never had a complaint in all the years that I've worked and served the public. No complaints about bad food. I would never serve bad food. Yeah, granted, I might miss something in the walk-in here and there and, that's not dated or it can be outdated or whatever, but I would never serve something. My motto over there is when in doubt, throw it out. And that's what I tell everyone in my kitchen. When in
Okay,
doubt, throw it out.
I understand
know
that, but
I
in
don't,
terms of the preparation, how are you ensuring, how are you
everyone
trying to
in my
ensure
kitchen
that
is,
that preparation
everyone in
is
my
adequate?
kitchen has been food certified. I make everyone food safe certified. They're all food handler certified. And down at Palmer, 6 of us are manager certified. We're all manager safe certified. I made all of them do it. I made everyone be food safe certified. You know, I take it very seriously. I would never want to get the public sick, ever. And I never have. I'm always very careful about how we prepare food. And I'm very careful about how I serve the food. And very careful about how I hold the food. You know, sometimes, yes, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I miss things. You know, but but when in doubt, I throw it out. I would never take a chance on making anyone sick, and I
Thank
never
you.
have.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Okay, I move to
Okay.
close the public hearing portion of this.
I have a second?
I'll second that.
Let's have a vote?
I mean, I'll vote yes. That'll give us time to
Aye.
discuss.
All right, so the hearing part is over. Discussion?
Yeah, first of all, I think you have a magnificent place there, and I want you to be successful.
I do too.
I want you to be successful. I had a contract there for a catered event. The congressman was going to speak, and we had to cancel it because they had this thing called the pandemic. And it was, that's previous owners and all that, but it's a great site. And it's really important for Belchertown that this place get in order. I might also say that there are places, New York City, for example, every restaurant has a sign on the window, you know, kind of like we have the tobacco signs. A sign on the window that says inspection A, B, C, D, and F. And obviously the F places will be closed. But if you have a C, you go to the restaurant across the street. And it's really important. I mean, if his pictures, which I've seen now, and I guess a part of the record, were to make it in the newspapers, you're done.
Right.
And it probably would kill your Palmer business too. So
Maybe.
it's really, it's much more important than that we say you're okay, than that the public recognizes that you're okay and that you don't get these kinds of things. Now, you say you haven't had complaints, and that's great because a lot of people get sick just, you know,
Right.
food poisoning from good, you know, the best restaurants.
I'm very careful about.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I want your place to succeed,
I
and
do
the way it's
too.
gonna
I mean, there's so
succeed
much
is
potential.
to not have us beating you on a periodic basis and him closing you and opening you and all this. That's without getting into the specifics of what we should do next.
I have plenty of comments, but I'll let Colleen go first.
I don't know if it's time, we need to discuss more, but I guess I would say that we renew the license after Donna's is detected, the deep clean has happened, and everything's perfect, no mold, no questions of anything, before we renew the license.
Right.
I guess I would agree. I have to say, those were some of the most horrific pictures I have ever seen in a restaurant. I was on this board years ago and have seen that. It's been a long time since I myself worked in a restaurant. I agree, we want all of our restaurants to succeed. But what you showed us pictures of was more horrendous than I've seen in I don't know how long.
I will agree.
And
that
that's,
walk-in was
and
terrible.
complaints or no complaints, the risk of foodborne illness and the number of people who are at risk, serious risk and they may never even connect it to eating. So complaints isn't always a good measure of that. My feeling is this place needs to get spotless. It's clearly not spotless. All of the other things that you talked about, you know, with rodents and infestation. I mean, I would not support opening this at all for catering or serving the public until this is clean. And then I think we have to keep on top of it. We have to, and that means more work for public health staff. But the danger is without keeping an eye on it, things are going to fall back into this degree of horrific violations of the food code.
I take full responsibility. I wasn't paying attention. I fired Julie. You know, the walk-in was terrible. It was.
Do you have contracts for the next, through the end of the year? Are there
for,
For catering or anything in this facility.
well, through the Palmer facility.
No,
But did
here.
you use this
So
facility in
Belchertown.
Belchertown?
I don't have a catering permit, he never issued.
No,
one.
but
No, but
is anybody
you've
gonna
been
be, is
doing
there
an
gonna be
event,
any,
right.
if we were,
Any events
if
up
we were
there
to close
between
it,
now?
for the
I do
next
have
5
events.
weeks.
I do have events, yes, that are planned up there.
what's the earliest for that? I'm trying to figure out if there's a
December
way.
5th.
So you're not going to do the Thanksgiving one?
Thanksgiving is, yeah, I'm gonna prepare the food at the farm and bring it up for Thanksgiving,
So you do have a place on Thanksgiving?
yes. Yeah, I'm doing.
And right now-
Brunch buffet, which I'm preparing at the farm, and we're bringing all the food up. We're not preparing any food at the green, but I still have to sustain it. so
I have a
rent.
real problem with having these kitchens like this, and you're serving food 20 feet away.
I can have that kitchen cleaned tomorrow.
Well,
Then do it.
there you
I'll do
go.
it.
This is what we've been waiting to hear.
I'll do it. I mean, if John wants to come up on Wednesday, that's fine, John, come up on Wednesday, I'll show you.
But that'd be spotless though, it's
Yeah.
deep clean.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely,
There you go.
but it needs to be clean, not sort of clean, not.
Yeah, I'm not that happy with, well, she made progress, therefore we could.
I did, well, the kitchen was in great shape, but unfortunately I had a lot of events.
No, not great is very different from bad.
It's,
And D is better
Well,
than
you know
F.
what, John, come on up on Wednesday, okay, I'll show you.
What do you think? Does that make sense? I don't know.
I know, I'm not
I'm
comfortable with
disappointed that a
but-
new food establishment that opened in the spring has declined so significantly. I've been in public health for over 20 years and I've done a lot of food establishment inspections, like thousands. I've never seen anything to be in the pictures that bad. It was deplorable.
That, I will admit, the walk-in was bad.
Those situations, and that was while they were open for business, those are the situations that would cause a foodborne illness outbreak. And, you know, there's all kinds of excuses, busy, lots of events, but when it comes to managing and owning a restaurant, you should always expect that the inspector is gonna show up. You have a responsibility to be in compliance with the food code at all times. I mean, we can tell when a place has been cleaned on a regular basis, and we can tell when cleaning just isn't done at all, or very infrequently, based on the accumulation of food debris, grime, and grease on the exterior of everything. So my concern is we have a food establishment owner that is ServSafe certified, that is not demonstrating working knowledge of the food code and food safety practices regardless of the certifications. That is concerning for me. We have a sensitive population of, you know, a lot of people that are golfers are on the senior side. But anybody that's pregnant, anybody that has an immunocompromised system or senior is at greater risk of dying of a foodborne illness. And based on what I have seen in John's inspection reports and the pictures, it's a foodborne illness waiting to happen at this point. Given that, you know, Terra's been closed since the 25th, that's almost a month. And even though events have taken place and the kitchen's being used to either keep food hot or wash plates, if the events were done over the weekend, we're here on Monday and there's still a lot of food and dirty dishes left out, which is a harborage and attractant for rodents, cockroaches, insects and flies. It's an unsanitary condition. So my recommendation to the board is for 2026, It sounds like, we all want our businesses in town to succeed, but we also make decisions that are in the best interest of the public. That's why we're on board. And so I would be comfortable with a 90-day permit to operate and only paying for 90 days instead of the full food permit, for the year. When Tara is ready to open, which I imagine there's going to be a kind of a closure period until maybe the spring. So in the meantime, like the kitchen would be closed until you plan to open tables on the green to the public in the spring.
Once the golfers come back.
Okay, whenever that would.
That's what I planned on. Yes, and I plan on just, keeping it closed, only doing parties.
Yep.
John can come and do an inspection on Wednesday, and I'm sure he'll be very happy with
Because
it.
a lot of catered events, don't necessarily need to have a licensed kitchen. A lot of catered events that are done off-site at like functions and parties, you've got the warmers and the trays, and then everything is packaged and brought back to the establishment, like to clean. Catering events could be done without using the kitchen at tables on the green to hold food, to heat food, to wash dishes and whatnot. Because even if dishes are being washed in a very unsanitary environment, they're still going back to another licensed establishment, which I would be concerned at that point as well. So I would do a 90-day permit to operate the kitchen when ready to open to the public. In the meantime, keeping the kitchen closed. So no food prep or use of the kitchen would be allowed until open to the public, at which point John would have to go in and do another, like a pre-operational inspection to make sure it's up to par.
Right.
And then the permit could be issued and paid just for the 90 days. I would not allow a catering permit, just my recommendation. John would go back within the 90 days unannounced to do a follow-up inspection to make sure conditions are not declining. And then at that point, if he's satisfied that food safety practices are being kept, then she could pay for the remainder of the year, and we could also give a catering license at that time for the remainder of the year.
Are you thinking of starting this January
In the
1st
spring,
or?
when the golf.
No,
When
the
golfers come
Because I'm
back,
still,
we'll-
I'm still concerned about what's happening this Thursday.
The holidays.
Right, so we can't prohibit her from using the Palmer kitchen and the Palmer catering permit. But the concern would be if the event is going to be at tables on the green, or I would feel more comfortable, okay, it's gonna be at Cold Springs Golf Course in that function hall or wherever it's going to be. But I would not feel comfortable with the kitchen being used for anything.
Anything at all.
Anything
So
at all.
like if you
Eating.
lock the kitchen.
John is gonna
Nothing,
come and inspect me on Wednesday, let's see what John thinks about it.
And it would be,
So
Yeah.
the
So-
level of cleaning that needs to occur, Tara, you're gonna spend a day just in that walk-in,
Oh, yeah.
a day, just in the walk-in.
I know.
Another day for the-
I know, I've already cleaned out the whole log and I have to
The
power
walk-in,
wash it.
it has mold in it, it has blood on the floor.
It had mold in it
There's
when I
food
first got there. And
Well,
we've already
Well,
cleaned
that's,
it.
that's
that's
still-
unacceptable.
that's-
That's unacceptable.
what,
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
of Andrew? So just so that I'm understanding, sorry,
no, go ahead.
go for it,
Yeah.
and then after. So can we require that even catered events there, that all food is off the premises at the end of the catered event? All dishes are taken, nothing's left, nothing is clean there. You're saying that no access to the kitchen at the restaurant, catered food brought in, created and prepped and put together in Palmer, done without using the kitchen at all at the
Well,
golf
why
course.
can't John re-inspect me on Wednesday and make that
Right.
So
determination.
her current permit is still valid, that hasn't
Right,
been
in
revoked
Palmer.
or
Right.
anything like that.
You still have
Oh, here,
catering
okay.
permit through Palmer, which I can cater
Right,
anywhere.
right.
So it was
So why don't we let
It's more,
John come
it's
on
more the
Wednesday?
Excuse me,
It's more
you
the
you haven't been
storage.
elected to our board
Right.
yet.
I'm just
I think
asking
it's
the
more about the
question.
storage of the
Yes,
food once
I'm
it's
trying
brought
to
to
get an
Belchertown.
idea of, I'm concerned too about even bringing food that's been prepped elsewhere in these conditions. I do think it'll take you a little longer than you might anticipate. And then I'm also concerned about, again, I know people are tired at the end of an event, but any use of that kitchen concerns me at this point, dishes as well as just any of it. And there's a lot in this inspection report that is more than just, a surface kind of cleaning. There's a lot of surfaces that need to be deep cleaned, but we're also talking about other kinds of contamination that not only need to be cleaned, but you need to think about how you're preventing that in the future.
Right.
So if you have rodent and insect infestations, what are you doing to prevent that? So I'm just even concerned about these catered events in terms of the risks to people. But are you saying that we do or do not have any say over the parameters by which the kitchen is used up there?
If you close the kitchen now and just revoke just the 2025 permit, they can still use the tables, the dining area to bring in the food, but like the setup, the tins would have to all be brought in from the other establishment,
Okay,
like any catered
like
event.
any catered
Right.
event, with
The
however you
kitchen would
keep it
just
warm.
not be able to
Right.
be used, because you'd be bringing food into that situation, and even, the inspection that was done today was a similar situation with the catered event, and the food
But
was, but it's just sitting there,
There,
nothing's
right.
getting cleaned,
Cleaned,
it's a
right,
filthy
right.
environment,
Right.
And even though I'm being told it'll be cleaned, it should have been cleaned today.
Today.
It should have been cleaned yesterday. So the conditions that are existing, we shouldn't be seeing that at all, really.
I have
So-
to admit, I'm tired. I am tired. I had a lot. I was up 3 nights in a row. I'm tired. And sometimes I just need a break. So, yeah, I mean, you gotta think of it from my point too, like, I work 140 hours a week.
Now, as far as, like, I know with Thanksgiving, you have a function, you have an event, would you say December 5th, you had an event coming up over there
Yeah,
too?
There's a birthday party or something.
Now, if it's something we do say and give John the okay to go back and re-inspect on Wednesday, and he'll be the governing body of yay or nay on that.
Yep.
So I mean, if the kitchen is used for like any kind of, just putting a tray on the stove, just to keep it, not to turn the stove on, just for storage. You gotta put 15 trays here, you gotta put 10 trays over there, just to get them out of, everything has to be like to the T.
He comes on Wednesday, he'll be happy.
But if he's not happy,
Oh, he'll be happy.
no, I'm just saying, hypothetical, if he's not happy, then there's zero access for that kitchen.
Kitchen basically has to be locked.
That's fine.
Nobody go in there.
And so now you don't have any storage for refrigeration, stuff that you have to, milks, juices, you have no refrigerations, nothing you can put in the freezer. I mean, it's a big gamble. It's a lot to do.
I've already called in the troops. We're all gonna,
Okay.
we're all gonna be.
Okay.
John will
I
be
mean,
happy
is
on
that
Wednesday.
something you would be, if it passed you to say, yes, we can use this for storage, not necessarily use it for, if they can get it done by Wednesday?
Yes, that's fine. But if I go out Wednesday and it's similar to today, then I won't have a choice.
Even
I know.
if it's not similar today, if it's not an A B+ is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about an A.
I always got A's in school.
That's nice.
I was a 4.0.
Oh, David,
All right.
So don't worry, we'll be fine.
I just have one question for 90-day permit. That concerns me. because the 90-day permit, there's also a liquor license attached to this. So if 90 days, she fails, she holds the liquor license.
She won't fail. She
Well,
promised.
No,
I'm not
another
fair.
hypothetical.
I get A plus, okay?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
just
fail.
Yeah.
All right.
90 days, she fails, liquor license, she holds a liquor license, then I'm out of a bar, which is an
Right.
integral part of the golf course. I just don't,
Yeah,
I'm
that-
very concerned
In
about
this,
that 90
in
days.
this town, the liquor license though is the responsibility of the select board, so you have to discuss it with them, but it's not gonna happen because.
Right, but
Because I'm gonna get an A on Wednesday, okay? Don't worry about it.
And in March 1st as well, I hope.
Oh, I'm going to, don't worry.
but I'm just,
I mean, granted,
and-
we're not on speaker, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are,
yeah.
you're on television.
Yeah.
This meeting is a public, this is an
It's both
open,
sides anymore.
it's an open public meeting.
Okay, so yes, I messed up. I did. I messed up. But I'm fixing everything, so.
And, you know, I would even recommend like, I know you said you do inspections, what, 4 times a year, most restaurant establishments on general. I mean, on probation for 6 months, maybe do more,
You're fine,
On a
I'll be
whim.
fine with that.
you know, just to make sure everything is staying true to form.
Day to day.
You don't
You
need
know.
to be fine with that.
I'm fine.
You
with it.
you don't
I
need to be
really-
fine with
we're
it.
It was
We
my
have the
fault.
authority.
I own up to it. I
Got
let it get out of
Good.
hand.
Okay,
I fired my kitchen manager, I let it get out of hand. I'm only one person and then I had to take on, trying to go down to the farm, do nights, do extra work. It's a lot on me, I just didn't have the energy, I had a lot. The golf course, the tournaments, they hit you like a tsunami, and
Right.
it was very overwhelming. I didn't know what to expect, so it was a very overwhelming period. It was a learning curve for me. And now it's like, now I'm revamping, so everything will be fine. So you can come back on Wednesday, John, you'll be happy.
So my concern is, you've told me that a dozen times before, you promised me that everything would be perfect.
It
and you
did,
bring
it
me-
was.
No, it wasn't.
Well, you
then
came back
bring-
the next day after our tournament.
Doesn't
It wasn't
matter.
perfect.
That doesn't matter to them.
What I was trying to say before is when we had an event, we never left things to the side. We said it
It's
whenever,
only
I'm
me.
not talking to you.
Well, that's my.
Right.
Well, that's the concern,
That-
that in addition to the recommendation for, what you need to do and what's in the inspection report, I don't hear anything about what is your plan to be sure you have the right staffing capacity to keep this up. The concern is, you keep saying it's all on you.
It's on me right now.
But I understand that this is a complex business,
Mhm.
and being in the restaurant industry has never been easy. But you need to also think about the people power to do this, along with the details of the inspection. Personally, for me, I am not comfortable with this being open at all right now. I'm just not the least bit comfortable. Catered events, certainly not. You can't serve any food to the public. My feeling is that this should not be open at all. I might be in a minority opinion here, but I feel like this needs significant attention to bring it to what it should be. And then it's gonna need significant attention on a regular basis to keep it at that level. Getting it to that level is hard enough, given what it looks like and has looked like. But maintaining it, well, again, what is the plan for
I
maintaining
have
the
hired,
level of cleanliness that is required?
I have hired more help, and I'm bringing more help up there. And they're gonna help me clean up, and I have a new catering manager that's gonna help me, and I have more people on my staff. So it's gonna be a little bit easier for me to maintain.
Once you reopen in the spring, is that that's the projection? That's the
Well, I
time frame you're
plan on
talking
being,
about?
yes.
Okay.
Well, I plan on being fully staffed. I didn't know what to expect, when I took over the green. I didn't know what to expect of the tournaments. It was a huge hit on me. It was very stressful, huge hit,
Mhm.
and, I screwed up. But now I know what to expect, and I've hired, and now I'm in the process of training people that are gonna help. And I have a catering manager that I'm training to help me with all of that aspect. And actually, she's like, she cleans like nobody else has ever cleaned, so I think she's gonna help me make sure that we maintain everything. But, you know, it was a huge learning curve for me. You know, I didn't expect to have to go through what I went through, you know, it was a lot.
I
thought,
understand,
you know,
that. It's a different
I
place
went
than
into
your
it.
home.
I went into it
place,
like
right?
full board, and I was like,
Okay.
I can handle this, and I was like, couldn't handle it, you know, and I recognized that I couldn't handle it.
Andrea?
So I'm kind of thinking more about the 90-day permit and, so I'm assuming you plan to continue to have events like the Thanksgiving, Christmas prior to opening to the public for the
Yes.
kitchen?
Yes,
like
but I will
throughout the
only
winter?
cater through the farm.
Right.
The food will come up from the farm, I won't see in the kitchen, John can come and inspect, I will have everything done.
Okay, so
So-
this is where I'm thinking, you know, if we waited to do a temporary permit until later in the spring, then that would mean that if she had planned to use the kitchen at the green for these events, to either hold food or keep food warm, I guess it depends on what the intent of the board is. And I also worry if the alcohol license is connected, is pending food, I don't know
Well,
how that works.
It wouldn't be
in town.
pending the food part, it would be, you wouldn't be able to clean the glasses in the kitchen, you wouldn't be able to like use the kitchen if we shut the kitchen down.
Can't utilize it.
We have like breweries that have the same thing with alcohol and they have to
Well,
clean the
yeah, but
glasses,
if
but
we shut the kitchen down because of health reasons, we're not gonna allow dishes to go in there and come back out to the public.
Is there a dishwasher at the bar?
There's a dishwasher in the wait station.
Okay.
So the
but-
bar can operate.
So the bar can operate, yes, but I think, you know, I think John will be happy on Wednesday when he comes. I think,
You could do a temporary one starting, I'm just kind of snowballing, starting January and do a temporary one until like January, February, March, April, we can do May 1st. And that way there, with the conditions that John is notified prior to an event that's going to be catered, which might be like once a month. Or
Yeah.
twice a month, it's not gonna, it might not be every week, but at least if John is notified in advance of a catered event, similar to the one she's gonna
We
have.
can go up there the day
You could
before,
do an
just do a quick inspection, make sure it's usable.
I mean, I can give you my book with all
Yeah.
the events that people have. booked.
and then,
Take it
you know, that'll
event
be.
by event and
Yep.
You understand though,
I
it's
do.
John, may I continue with the question? That it's John's job to represent us, but he is not gonna be coming down every 2 days to check your place. You have to have your own people making sure that they fulfill it. His is like a random check.
That's fine.
I
I'm
did
not-
want to, I just wanted to say, I don't know what our thinking is, but I would like to have our December meeting as scheduled, even though it's the week before Christmas.
Oh.
I want to see what the status is of this.
Right. I agree.
I mean, if you
Yeah,
really
fine with the
are so
December.
happy with it on this Wednesday, I would really like to, well, I'd like to know that by email or something, but I think we should,
I mean-
particularly since we're talking about what to do with them for 2026.
Right, yeah, we'd like to know
What the,
before that
1
actually
month's
hits.
experience is.
I mean, there's two events scheduled for December, or one for November, one for December so far. Right, the 5th.
Well, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's a few.
I mean-
in the book.
And somebody may
can
walk
show
in
it to
tomorrow
John
and
so he
order
knows what's
So
going on.
you would share that schedule.
I mean,
what do you have
it'll
scheduled?
be,
I'll share it with him.
I'm just trying to think outside the box here. Hypothetically, it should be easier to keep the kitchen spotless during this time because there's not getting pounded every weekend, every day from golfers.
Well, the
It's the
tournament
spring.
killed me. yeah.
It's the
Yeah, they killed me,
springtime
but
when
they're
golf
financially
starts is
good.
when the chaos starts,
No?
right?
What?
When the golf starts is when the chaos starts.
Oh, yeah. It's
So
terrible.
I,
At
you
least
know,
I'm prepared for it
I would
next year, so I
expect
know what
through
to
these winter
expect.
months, the conditions are gonna stay satisfactory to you and to us.
I mean, the conditions, I mean.
Just for that reason, there's not gonna be a lot of traffic in there, other than one every couple weeks, maybe a little gathering or whatever. It's the springtime that's really gonna be when it happens.
Well, I mean, the conditions did go downhill and it wasn't necessarily just due to the tournament. It was
No,
due to
no,
the people that
right.
were there and my own self, you know, and my kitchen manager.
I mean,
You know,
the way I'm
No,
looking
but
at it
there-
is, we've already got them, we've already had 2 strikes, theoretically.
Yes, it was all my fault.
Andrew, are you happy with this?
And, you know, I'm looking, you know, 3 strikes, you're out. So no more warnings, no more, you know,
So we're talking about the kitchen will basically be cleaned up
by
by
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Mhm.
And even, I guess if it isn't, it just has to be locked and nobody has to go near it,
Right,
right?
that's fine with
So we
me.
can, if you.
And we
if you
don't
want to
have any
table your
authority over
discussion
the-
and vote until your December meeting? Or do you want to make a decision now
Well,
or
that-
pending John?
Us
I would-
doing
I
nothing
would-
is a decision.
Right, but I would do something now pending John's Wednesday inspection.
Okay.
You know,
Official.
because that's gonna be, you know, it's, if it was until December, it'd be one thing, but since how we got one in 3 days, 4 days. I'd like to see some improvement where you give it the okay to use the facility for catering.
Can I propose a compromise? I know you're concerned about the walk-in. And there's also talks about just using the kitchen. What if the kitchen is clean and usable, and then the walk-in can be taken care of it?
She said it was gonna be perfect on Wednesday. You don't need to come.
I agree with you, there's a lot
The
to overcome.
Right, and I would say the kitchen mainly is, for now, would be the most important thing, because that's where she's gonna take the trays out of the car, come in, put them in the kitchen. She's not gonna bring them out on the tables and the warming racks right away. They're gonna be stored in the kitchen, on the shelves, on top of the stoves, on the shelving units, whatever.
It's easier to stay out of the walk-in.
Right,
There's nothing in the walk-in.
Right.
There's no reason for me to be in there.
I'm trying to help you.
I know.
I mean,
Easier to stay out of the walk-in.
it'd be a huge plus if the walk-ins could get done in that time period, but the focus would be mainly, I don't wanna say the main focus, but the whole thing is the main focus, but
So there's no cold holding for any of your catered, there's no desserts or salads or?
Milk.
No, because they come right in, we put them right on the buffet. I don't even use the walk-ins. If anything, it would be the oven that I would use more than anything to hold like second pans for, you know, replenishing.
right.
I don't necessarily use the walk-ins.
There's a 2-door refrigerator.
And there's a refrigerator in the kitchen, there's a refrigerator in the server area too that we can utilize. Doesn't need to be the walk-in. I don't even use it.
Okay.
And they need to be clean too.
Huh?
They
Oh,
have-
they're spotless.
I just think,
Right.
The wait station, that refrigerator is spotless. I clean that whole thing out myself.
I'm just trying to figure out a way.
And he'll look.
Yeah, I mean, and
I looked today.
In the wait station.
ideally, yeah, the big picture, we'd like to see everything spotless.
Okay.
But
By Wednesday,
for the catering part of this, to carry you through the winter months, I'm not saying put the walk-ins off that long. But we still want them done in a reasonable amount of time, because that alone, if it's that bad in the walk-ins, it's still gonna affect the kitchen with the
Well, if I'm gonna
insects and
power wash
rodents.
the kitchen tomorrow, I'm gonna power wash the walk-in.
Well,
Good,
that's,
good.
right, right.
Leave it.
right.
You know, since I have the power washer, I'm gonna do it all.
I mean,
at once.
because,
I'm
you
not
know,
gonna wait.
you get rodents or bugs, they can go.
So I would
all
say
over
we
the place.
revisit this in the December meeting
Yeah.
and base it off of what John finds out for us.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Can somebody,
okay, John?
Discussion?
can somebody restate what it is we're recommending? Or we need to take a vote on what it is we're suggesting and recommending?
Why don't you do it?
Yeah, we're basically letting her do the 2-day clean for the catering for Thanksgiving.
For the Thanksgiving Day event, okay.
Don't want to say throw it on John's shoulders, but
With or without the, with no walk-in?
without,
Is that your point that,
I can have the walk-in thing, I have the power washer, so if I'm gonna do the kitchen
Well-
floors, I'm gonna do the
So,
walk-in
so,
too at the
so
same
the
time,
whole,
I'm not gonna wait.
okay, so basically you have to give them an A.
I always get A's.
For them to use it, yeah, I know, we've had a 4.0.
because you got to go under the assumption too
I
that
did.
they're going to have something that maybe they want to put in their walk-in to store.
Otherwise,
For an hour.
otherwise, if you don't give them a perfect report on Wednesday, they have to stay out of the kitchen completely.
Completely.
Then that
You got
kitchen is closed
so does it
until further
no
notice.
violations under food code?
No violation.
No violations, that's perfection.
Okay.
If you need to keep things warm,
You
you
have a copy of the report.
prevent warm.
And if you
I
want,
have your
I
report,
can go
yes.
over the photos of today's
You and
inspection.
I can,
We'll go over them after the meeting.
okay.
Was there a motion and
Yeah.
a second?
Do we want to
No,
make a
we
motion?
didn't, we didn't go through the official.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Process.
so
Make a
why don't
motion?
you, well, you express it. So John will inspect on, so I move, John will inspect on Wednesday. If he gives a clean bill of health,
Nay.
then
No violations.
no violations of any kind, then they can use the kitchen. If not, the kitchen has to be, if it's not perfect, the kitchen has to be closed completely until,
Yeah.
It
and
is
they can-
perfect.
And they
Until
can
further
use
notice,
use
until
the
it's totally-
restaurant
right.
for the catering part, but just
Okay.
kitchen
and
for
the
nothing.
bar.
Got it.
Okay, that's the motion.
That was a motion. Do I get a second?
Second that.
That's your motion, actually.
Yeah.
But I made it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll vote on that, yes. Will you let us know the outcome of your
Yes, I will.
inspection on Wednesday?
And then
So
before
we're-
it-
And happy Thanksgiving.
If it's not May, before it gets used again, the inspection would have to occur.
Is there variations of A?
No.
No.
No,
So
no
we
want a
violations.
solid
A
A.
plus.
Solid A.
She got a 4.0, she didn't get a
I always
4.2.
say A plus.
Others say minus too.
No violations,
That means I go through my checklist.
right.
And whenever I do an inspection, it's unbiased. I mean, everyone gets the same treatment across the board. So I get on my checklist, I'm looking for violations. So what the board has just indicated, if I see a violation, well, I'm obligated to know
note
that.
it.
But if there is one violation.
The
then
kitchen is
will be
closed, right.
Until the board decides.
Right.
So I get your checklist, right? So I
You
know.
have a copy of the report from today, but I want to go over the photos to show you the areas that are concerned.
And Andrea, this may be a little off topic, but what are the terms of keeping the certification from the state?
It's not a state certification. It's like the ServSafe.
Yeah, all that stuff.
It's not, it's just a certification from like an approved program like ServSafe. It's good for 5 years. It's not something we can revoke.
Okay,
But Wednesday, I plan to go with John
okay.
to do the inspection. Because I just
I
wanted to make
appreciate
clear
that, good.
compliance isn't based on just correcting the violations that were noted during the inspection. I mean, compliance with the food code means compliance with all aspects.
All
of the food
aspects.
code. Not just what,
Right,
just correcting
Right.
what is there, because we may go in and there may be other
Other
violations that were
violations
not written up during the previous inspection,
That
and
you didn't
therefore
see
would not be in
today.
full compliance. Just wanted to clarify that.
All right. Thanks, Tara.
Okay, good
I'll
night.
I'll be fine.
thank you.
Okay, good night.
Yep, we know you will.
All right, John. You'll have to be, like,
Is the board all set with me?
Just don't leave me.
We're all set.
Yep,
with
we're all
you.
set with you, John. Thank you.
Yeah, still good one.
There's a motion on there.
Thank you.
All right, there, thanks.
Thanks.
Where am I going?
Let's go out here.
All right, our last,
The elevator's not working, right?
No, the elevator's working.
it's working now?
Elevator's repaired,
It is
it's
working.
been repaired.
Where the elevator is, look for Kruger. Warm down there.
All right, our last part of regular business is to review and approve the meeting minutes of August 25th and September 22nd.
I'll move that we approve the first set, which is August 25th. as written.
It actually says August 28th
I
on the
did have a-
minutes itself.
I did have a question about it.
Was it the 28th or the 25th?
August 28th, that's what
Okay.
it says at the
Oh,
top.
yep, okay,
Okay.
I
yep.
think I put September 1st, I'm sorry. I think September was one of the first ones in your packet.
I have an August 28th.
Yeah, I was just noticing
Oh,
that
so
there's
it's a different.
a different date on the
Yeah,
minutes
yeah,
than what's
that's
on
all.
the agenda, yeah, so.
August
just to know,
28th.
28th was the actual date
Yeah.
of the meeting, okay, cool, all right, so it's only. just a
So
little-
my question was the mosquito control, that was gonna go before the select board? Did
Yes.
anything happen with that?
That I'm aware of.
Okay, It should. I
think
mean, it doesn't need to go in, but we probably wanna, I think it required town meeting vote,
It-
so, it would have to be.
Oh, does it?
I think that's what they said.
Yeah,
Anyway, we'll leave that up to the select board to decide what they want to do with it. They have to approve it at some point. I think he said, John Briggs, that it needed a budget item, but they may just be able to find the money. There's so much money in this town that's just lying around.
Did they contact you?
I'm sorry?
Did they contact you? Like, should I go use contact you the next day?
Yeah, we should follow up on that, because I would like
Yeah.
that to happen in Belchertown during the mosquito
With
season.
Steve.
Where that is on the
Yeah.
agenda for the select board to get it
Yeah.
on for.
And then to do it, because we were talking about John was gonna do a presentation to the
For
board
them,
as well,
right,
right? So
right.
to educate, help them learn, as
And
we did.
Yes, I did send an email with all of that too.
I mean, it seemed to make a lot of sense. It's not very expensive, but it's gotta be done.
It's only $5,000 or something.
Yeah, something.
Just because I'm gonna, under another hat, I'm going in front of the select board. They're already starting to think about their January and February dates, so maybe you can just plug it to that, at least for the education piece, and then that may, as they start to think about what's gonna be on the town meeting warrant. 'Cause
Anyway,
it starts,
so-
it starts earlier than you think.
you had a motion?
I moved that we approve the minutes for the August 28th. I already did that.
Okay,
Yeah.
second.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now that
The September 22nd
September.
meeting minutes. Anyone like to make a motion on that
I
one?
should repeat stuff about the federal government and the vaccines boy. I move that we approve the minutes from the September 22nd meeting.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any other business?
Yeah, can we check the dates? Is it the 28th or 25th? Because in the 22nd minutes, it refers to the 25th.
Oh, so maybe the error, the typo was
Which
on
one
the
was a
minutes?
Monday?
August,
I know, who's
August
that?
25th is a Monday.
Oh, then, okay.
Okay, so then
On the minutes.
so the
Yep,
top,
sorry.
the heading of the minutes is wrong. But
And
everything
the
else is
25th
right.
on the agenda was correct, okay, gotcha.
That was it.
Catch.
Any other discussion?
Just really quickly, we can think about it after the first of the year, but I had mentioned the community health needs assessment that all the nonprofit hospitals have to do every 3 years. The report for Bay State Wing is out, and there are various people who can do presentations, quick slideshows or whatever about the key findings of that health assessment, so that might be of interest to us, but it can wait till after the first of the year. But the report is out. If anybody wants to go to Bay State Wing's website, just look for the 2025 Community Health Needs Assessment. You can also order, if you want a paper copy, you can also order your own paper copy off the website.
So is it Bay State Wing dot, what's the website name?
Just go to Bay State and then each of their 4 hospitals
I
has
just
like a
I just
link.
Google it or something.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
do Bay State Wing, even Community Health Needs Assessment. It might
Got
take you right to their page.
Okay.
All right,
They have to post it
So our next meeting will be Monday, December 21st.
December
And we can
21st.
go over,
Okay.
Yeah,
What
I'd
we
like to,
just-
I'd like to see what's happening
Yeah.
with this. I
Yeah.
think it's important enough.
one thing I wanted to see if we could talk about. There's one thing I wanted to ask about, it was in the paper, I think, the Sentinel, about we had before us a couple months ago.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing.
There's a sportsman.
Oh, the sports
Sport
bar,
table.
yes.
Yeah.
Sports table,
So
the
what's
mobile
happening
home
with that?
park.
There's still like
Oh,
not.
Doing the water line, the new water,
Yeah.
water service in there. Has that been going okay?
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's been a problem in this town.
that's gonna be a
At
huge,
least 20
huge
something
improvement for
years.
them people.
It's a huge improvement
They've been
from,
making headway.
I mean, they've been without a license for 15
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
It's.
Is there, do they have a scheduled, end date for that project? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was a real struggle for
I
the
can't
town.
believe nobody's died out of it.
Basically, they lost their license, but because they were so terrible, but there was nothing else you could do except evict everybody, so nobody wanted to do that.
Right.
And they wound up coming up with a way of funding stuff by preserving some of the surrounding land, and it was taken over by the town
Yeah.
as conservation land, so that got some money to clean up the place. That's a very sad situation, which finally seems to be mending.
definitely getting better.
All right.
Definitely.
Anything else?
It's been on my mind for a while.
Yeah.
When I saw that in the paper, I said,
Yeah,
oh, God,
yeah.
I've been not dealing with it. And then-
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So
Anybody
moved,
want to leave?
so moved, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn today at 7:24.
Did you want to say something else? Anything?